Hi everyone, in this video we look at how to import entries that have been recorded in Atekho into your Lexicon project. So either you have created a Lexicon project by yourself or a Lexicon project has been shared with you uh, with all the required permissions in order to import entries from the recording project or a project that has been hosted on Atekho for recording data. Let's go to this project. I've already set this up for this demo. So you go inside this and straight away what you'll see is an UI that allows you to make entries, dictionaries entries. So you're required to make entries into all of these different sections that has been set up and that has been given to you. Now for some sections you might see an empty box. This is because you don't for your project this is not set up, so you don't need to enter those, but whatever fields are set up, it's ideally expected that you fill up all of those. Some of the fields in this are optional, so for example something like variant, not all entries will have. In fact, we would not expect this to be filled up generally, but for some entries if you have variant forms you could fill those up. Other than that, also so lexical relations, if you have studied about lexical relations of certain kinds, then you could possibly fill those up and establish the relationship between different lexemes, but also in general we don't expect this to be filled. So what we expect to be filled uh, completely, a minimal dictionary entry should have the head word. That's essential. Lexeme form, so don't leave this blank, and in fact this is compulsory, so the form will not be submitted. Then you fill up the pronunciation in IPA. If your head word is in IPA, uh, then you can leave out the pronunciation field. Otherwise you'll need to fill both of these fields. And then a sound file is already recorded, so you'll see that once we import the data, the sound file will be there. Then we'll fill up the senses. One entry could have multiple senses or multiple meanings, so to say. For each set, so if you want to add more senses you need to do a plus here, and for each sense you will need to fill up this different fields that we have. So and so this includes your one word gloss in English. You'll see that this is also recorded for you, so you will have an audio here. Definition is also recorded through Atekho, so you will have a audio here for definition. Then you will have grammatical categories that you have to fill up. You can fill up the semantic domain as well, and example again from Atekho you will have the audio, but you have to fill up the text part. So basically you have to transcribe those audio which has been recorded, right? So in all of these fields, if your speaker has given picture, then the picture should appear here, but if not, then it will not be there. And then other than this, so lexical relations variant I explained earlier, you can go to additional info and you will have a couple of fields to fill up here as well. So again, so we'll see that we had an information about additional info, so that will give you an audio for encyclopedic information. If you have any additional metadata information, so remember that this is different from the information about the lexeme itself that you will put in encyclopedic information. But if you want to talk about uh, say for example recording conditions or anything else which doesn't relate to the word itself but more to the recording scenario or situation, you will put that information here. Okay, so once this is all that needs to be filled up. Now part of this, as we'll see, will be filled up by the recordings that you have done. So this is the button to import the lexemes from recording projects. If you click on this, you'll see that the project type is already selected, recordings. Most likely your project will also be pre-selected because you'll most likely have only access to one recording project, but if not, you select the project from which you need to import and also the task. Now remember that you have two tasks. that you have recorded. So you'll have to do this mapping uh, one by one for each of those tasks. Now let's come to the mapping. So this is the part where which needs to be understood here. uh, there is the fields that you see on left. These correspond to the fields that I just showed on the dictionary form. So additional metadata information multimedia, this we know that will map to additional info in your project. um, oh, sorry, this was a mistake. So not additional metadata, but the encyclopedic information is what will map to additional info in your project. Then we have gloss multimedia. So remember that on Atekho you have everything is done multimedia, so we have not taken any text input from the speakers. So all of this will be multimedia. And so sense is the meaning. Then you have definition, this will map to definition. Example will map to example. Free translation will map to example translation. Picture will map to picture. Other than this, we also had, so upload sound file is basically the sound file for the word itself. So this will map to word. So this is all the mapping that needs to be done for all the dictionary projects. This is the mapping that will be required to be done, and that remains same for all of your projects. And so this should work. Okay, and you save the mapping, click on import entries. So that will take, depending on how many entries you have, it might take a little bit of time on your system. For me there was very little, so 6 entries. So everything is there, is imported, and as once this is imported, then you go to browse. So on browse you will see that all of these are imported. Just see that the table is basically arranged through head words, but head word in this case is audio. So placeholder has been given here by the system. You can click anywhere on this table to view the entry that you have gotten. So this is your entry as of now, all the multimedia files. So all the fields are basically filled up, and you can of course go ahead and edit the project. So you see that some of these are not filled up. For example, encyclopedic information is not here, the audio, because it was not recorded for this entry. So similarly you will see that there might be other fields which is not recorded, and you may not have some of those here. So it just turns out that the encyclopedic information is the only thing that's not recorded, but yeah, you will have those things missing if they are not recorded. You can then from here go to edit. You can click the edit button here, you can click the edit button here. So this is just a browse interface. You can go to the edit, and now you'll see that for each of those entries you already have some of this filled out, right? So the sound file is filled out. If you listen, will play, so it will have some word. So and then you can go ahead and fill up all of these different fields. So all the multimedia components are now attached to this. So this will the task now basically is that of transcription. So you have to transcribe this word, write the head word in either in IPA or in the native script, write the pronunciation in IPA, fill up the sense, fill up the variants if they exist, and also fill up the additional info if that exists. So let's just see. And so the word here was that was recorded was Pahad. So I could just go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to. Yep. And then we could have the IPA here. You can go to the sense, you can fill up the sense as well. So this will be mountain, for example, a large rocky region or something. I mean, if if you have some definition, so you will type whatever is being played in this audio, if the audio is there. If the audio is not there, you can still fill it up if you want to give up the definition. This will be a noun, so this is what you have to decide. And um, sorry, so this, so the thing was, even though the Lexicon language in this case is Lombardy, I'm doing it in Hindi, so you can fill up the example as well here. Right, so and then you can give the picture was uploaded, then the picture would show up here. You can also upload from outside, so all of this you can upload from outside, by the way. So you can fill up everything. Once this is done, then you click on update and it gets saved, and now you'll see that the head word is there, everything is there. You can now go to view, and you'll see that those entries are visible. You can again go ahead and edit it, or you can move ahead to the to a different entry, to a new entry, and fill that up. Now this is how you fill this up, the whole all of the entries, and this is how you build your dictionary. So around, yeah, if I understand correctly, you have to do 1500 words. You can also, if say if you speak the language and you know the language and you know that some of the words that you know are not covered here, you can go ahead and either you click on this, start entering a new word. You can also, if you are not sure if some word is added or not added, you can possibly start searching for this. So for example, if you search for mountain, you'll see that it gives you an option of pahad. If you select that, it will take you to the edit button there. But if you don't select it, if you want to make a new entry, then you simply click on the new one, and it will give you a new entry with the word pre-filled. So this is how we fill it up. We basically build the whole of the dictionary. Thank you.